YouTube fam, it's Dark Angel's Journey. I'm Shakira. Happy New Year. Have I already said that? I don't remember. Who cares? I'll say it again. So it's my first day back to the day-to-day job, and it was busy. So busy. Anyway, so didn't get a chance to do any analysis or see what was happening today. So let's do that. Let's do some back testing. Let's see what's been going on and what I missed. That sounds like a good time. Hit the like button, subscribe, drop a comment down below. Pretty much anything you feel like doing. Now I've got my screen up here, so that's why I'm looking up, so don't be weirded out by that. All right, cool. So, second time for 2023. Gonna make myself tiny. All right, cool. So I am looking at the S&P minis for the March contract. Now I had to figure out how to find these. So apparently ESH 2023 is the March contract. I don't know what the H stands for. I still need to look that up. But in the meantime, I'm not really super focused on those specifics, just how price moves. And then I'm going to figure out which one of these brokers that's connected to TradingView I'll connect with. And I'll take a look and see which ones work for me. In any case, that way and picking the one that, of course, has a demo account, right? That you can play with. Anyway, so let's go out to the daily on this puppy. Actually, the weekly, just to kind of work through bias. So it's very red week. Must have started off bullish though. The week did. It had to have. Took out this wick, or it looked like it wants to work its way into this imbalance up here. So let's go up down to the daily. All right, so we haven't really gone anywhere. We're just going sideways. So looks like we're working our way up to this wick here, maybe up into this imbalance. We'll see. So far, we've stayed within this candle. Kind of stopped almost. Zoom in a little bit above, so I haven't taken anything of that out yet, and we haven't gone much lower. So if it's gonna drop, we have some areas to focus on here, relatively equal lows, so that we take out to come into here. And there, haha. But so far they've eaten all of the imbalances, so they're probably going to want to roll back up into here to bring this into some sort of balance. So let's just pop that up there, just so I know it's there. Cool, so let's roll down into a 1 hour. And I did have time for 5 minutes to kind of figure out where the midnight open is and where the 8:30 is, and within this time frame, 8:30 about 11 is where I would be looking for some sort of setup, right? And the low from yesterday is all the way down here. They haven't even remotely gotten anywhere close to it. So when midnight opened, price was trading higher. So now the thing that I'm trying to work through is bias, right? What's my daily bias? Where do I think price can go, right? So I'm trying to establish that with the midnight open, seeing how price behaves around it, and then once it hits 8:30, because what I'm learning is that, for example, and I'll use this tool right here, right? So if we open here, right, and if we're expecting price to go up, right? If we're expecting price to go up, then we're expecting, price to do a little meandering about, drop below these openings, right? And then continue trading upwards, right? Something like that. And so we have two options, right? So midnight being, in this case, the lowest, 8:30 is all the way up here. That's telling me that potentially, price might want to go up, at least in my mind, right? So then around 8:30, and let's drop to the 15-minute time frame, right? So around 8:30, I want to see what price is going to do. So in 8:30, it was just kind of meandering about. Then it dropped. It dropped beautifully, and it dropped into the midnight open, right? So this is a good opportunity potentially to go long because, price kind of consolidated, right? It consolidated, then it showed its hand, dropped, and then this is a good place to try and figure out a long from. So understanding that that happened, where are we at? 15 minutes. Let's go on to the 5 minutes. Do we see something that would have given us an opportunity? So, we're looking for a market shift, right? A shift that would say, like a break, and then it gives me some opportunity to come back in and take a long from. All right. So technically, I would have wanted to see something break above here, but that's a long move, right? It's a very long. So I'm gonna drop down into, and I'm looking to see if it created anything here. So here's this thing right here as an imbalance that they could play with, and let me take that off at the moment, right? Because I'm trying to like rethink how this would work. So beautiful break right here. One of two things will happen, right? Like if we're following the process, right? So after 9:30, and actually today was FOMC or something, right? So something happened at 10 o'clock. Just gonna go in here to this Wednesday. Okay, so Jolt's job and ISM PMI stuff. That's more, it's less. So what happened at 10 o'clock? Let's see. So at 10 o'clock, that's where it spiked, took out this buy side liquidity, then dropped, took out this liquidity. Now, probably wouldn't want to do anything on this candle. And then what did it do after that? It took out the rest of the liquidity. Look to the left here. What else we got? Yeah, like it took out all of these sell stops. They're all gone. Boom. So after this now, and it's retraced back up, I'm gonna potentially be looking for some sort of opportunity to go long because it's fit the model, but do I see what I'm looking for? So we're in the 5 minutes. Let's go down to the 4 minute. What does that look like? So what am I looking for, right? I am looking for, so we just dropped. I'm looking for some sort of break and then come back in to continue going back up, right? So I'm looking for some sort of break like from around here and then, on the lower time frames to kind of give me that narrative. And of course, you got to know what you're even like aiming for, right? So as we're looking for that, and it's something we should have done on the higher time frames. Let's go back up to the 1 hour, right? What do we have above us? So we have this juicy break right here. Sorry, excuse me, not break, imbalance. So this juicy imbalance right here. And then we have this wick right here. So I'm gonna go down into the 15 minute. Is there anything juicy in that general space? Could aim for this guy, or you could aim for like this relatively equal highs here. So, or you could aim for the wick, right? So I like to be conservative, or I'm trying to remind myself that I need to be conservative. And you can also think about a spot where price likes to hang out. So here's another, if we were to draw it out, price has been rejected from this general vicinity. It likes to hang out in this general vicinity, right? So understanding that, then that's another reason to kind of like, aim for something like that. Anyway, this is all in hindsight, of course, but I'm just trying to train my eyes to see. All right, so let's say we aimed for that. We didn't know anything about that. All right, so let's go down into, let's say, the 2 minute chart, right? And I'm looking for a juicy break. All right, so we get one here. We get a break here. Whoops, above. Yeah, we get a break approximately there. It's actually a little lower. The other good thing is that it comes with an imbalance. Now, the expectation then becomes that we expect it to trade back into the imbalance to continue back up. No. No, one of the things that I've been really enjoying looking for lately is like the order block that it could trade back into, right? And I really don't even think I really have that in this scenario, right? So, not really seeing where I should have taken an entry. I mean, I guess because of the fair value gap is between, let's zoom in on this, right? Trying to understand what's happening here. So the fair value gap is really between this candle right there and then this candle right there. Now there's two options, right? You could take an entry from this candle to go up, which wouldn't have been a bad plan here, right? But I've been really interested in using the actual order blocks that are attached. So I would have wanted to try and get in on one of these, but the problem is this big imbalance, this small one here, it would have had to be somewhere in here, and they obviously didn't dig too far into this, so I don't know. I would have had to, um, I don't know. I don't know if I would have taken this because I didn't see what I was looking for. Because I probably would have put a limit order here. That one would have been filled. I might have tried for the middle of this. I probably wouldn't have gotten it. But there's that. Let's go to the 1 minute. Do we see something juicy? Like juicier on the 1 minute? Okay, so on the 1 minute, we have this smaller imbalance, which they ate. Okay, all of that. So then this would have been better for me. Like this would have made me feel a little bit better. Trying to think, there's this bearish order block over here that it's corresponding to. I probably would have tried for the middle of this for an entry, which I would have gotten, and then put my stop loss right under here. Oh, I think Kitty wants attention. And then, of course, it did roll into that pretty well. Oh no, Kitty wants all the attention. Wow, interesting. And then, you have a couple of options to get out. On the 1 minute, look at that, even better. On the 1 minute, we had this whole imbalance to play with above this. So actually, if I'd seen that, then I probably would have, dropped it a little above this to that right there. Just because I'm trying to be conservative. I don't know if it's going to take it or just tap it and run. But from a middle of this imbalance entry perspective, this one candle down, and then if I tapped this guy, what is that? Yeah, 1 to 11. That's 121 ticks. I mean, this is a E-mini. What would that have netted us, y'all? Let's see. I mean, because these are $50 a tick or whatever, right? Approximately. So, and let me know if I'm doing this wrong because I'm still learning this part of it, right? So that would be 121 equals, I'm going to use my calculator because I am lazy. Whoa, shut up. Really? Oh man. So, I mean, and just getting 5 ticks would have been fine. 2,500? I mean, that's crazy, right? That's crazy. What? And then I would have been, if I'd been stopped out, that's 11 ticks away. 50 times 11, $550. Man, you know, I see why people do this. I see why people do this all the time. And honestly, once this traded away, you know, once this traded away, stop loss at, no, I would have just 550, you know. Honestly, once it traded away, put your stuff in a profit, man. Like, once it's up there, at least set it to a couple of ticks in. So, if you get stopped out, you at least get cover fees. Interesting. All right, now after after 1:30, because this trade formulated at the tail end. Oh man, just in time too for an entry right here. How long would that have taken if we'd gotten it right there? 30 minutes? Man, that's nice. Every time I try and actually get into a trade, it takes like 15 hours. How annoying is that? 15 hours. Anyway, all right, so now what do we have? So we have 2 o'clock. Let me dip back over here. So FOMC was at 2 p.m. minutes. I don't know what happened, but we have a very hopeful spike, took out buy side right here, and then down she blows. I mean, let's be honest, right? We got a couple options for this one, right? So looking for a break, which we get very resoundingly here with this imbalance. Beautiful order block. I might ignore this one and just use this guy right here. So I would have been, and this is something I'm still working through, right? So I would have been thinking once it came back up, ignoring the news driven drama. Liquidity's gone, so I don't think it's going any higher. This or the open of this, or actually, I think it's supposed to be the close of this order block, right? And then look for something like a target, right? And nothing better than a nice juicy imbalance at the bottom here. Beautiful. And then I would have just gone and tapped that like so with my stop loss like probably a little above there. Because I now don't think it's going to go much higher. So, price taps it and drops like a stone. That's beautiful. It's not a bad idea right there. Quick tap, not much of a drawdown. Let's see, what would our options have been there? Ugh, 15 ticks. Really? That's a lot. Times 15, $750 from a loss perspective with 99 ticks as profit. 49.50. All right, not bad. Not bad at all. It's interesting to see how these setups, what does this look like on the 15-minute? Yeah. Because then on the 15-minute, liquidity taken, you know, look at that. And this is from early, this is from noon, right? So liquidity taken here earlier. They took the rest of it. Let's see, hold on, my bad. Okay, yeah. So nice, decisive break, even if it is news driven, boom, and then came back up for a potential entry and then right back into the midnight open. They've been just trading right into that time frame, like just hanging out with that space. Fascinating, isn't it though? So fascinating. All right. So let me clone this guy because I'm gonna put this in my journal, right? My notes. So from about 1:30 right there to 4:30 right there. And we're gonna call it PM. So the other opportunity for a trade. And let's set that to AM. And cool. All right, let's see. All right, so then we went back into the 1 minute to view this unholy. Let's make some notations, right? Just so we know what's happening. All right, so for this one, I was looking for a break. So let me clean this up and use my break right here. It's not pretty. So a nice break happened. We had multiple imbalances. On the 1 minute, most likely they're only going to go back into the first one and not the second. So then stop loss should be under this candle and then write it up to the next imbalance. So just make a quick note to myself here. So I'm like looking for a break after price dropped below opening to confirm long potential. Okay, so then this is what it's looking for here. And let me grab a little arrow. So I'm looking for a break. And then it came here, which is nice. And let's also make a little notation right here. Price consolidated above midnight open. I can't type, y'all. Don't judge me. Is that might night? Don't judge me. Yeah. Then dropped and provided a market structure shift. And then after that, we're looking for an entry. Do we have multiple potential for an entry? Right? So I'm gonna say this is all of this consolidation, right? And so I'm gonna put this in my notes, and then this is the break and then expansion. So it's like a power of three thing, right? So if we were to say do this, right? Like all of this is that all that other news driven stuff I'm gonna ignore, right? So accumulation, manipulation, expansion. And some of the things that are making it a little bit easier for me to recognize is, they dropped, then they took the liquidity, took all the rest of it here, and then started forming a short-term low, and they took out the short-term high, and then they kept doing it and kept doing it, and then finally made an intermediary low, whatever, and then traded back into the first portion of an imbalance. Second potential for an entry right here. Same scenario, imbalance, and then as an entry potential, you could just be at the top of the imbalance or like in the middle or something like that. They did top the middle for that one. Then you could have written it up again. All right, so what's this story? All right, so in the PM, and this trade formulated at 4, which probably means that we wouldn't have been in this one for very long because we would have come out there 16 minutes. Wow. I'm never this lucky, okay? Never. But that doesn't mean I won't be in the future when I have time to analyze things. You know? All right, so what do we have here? Let's get our annotations on because I'm going to be doing we don't need that. That's just to see what it would have been like. This one, I'm going to do this, and I want to make one big thing so I have my notes easily seen, whatever. Okay, so now price traded up and ate up this imbalance. Let's bring this back. It's gone. Then it made it couldn't break above it. So now we have this break right here. All right. So we have one break here. Let's do that. And It looks like this is the high of the day, right? And then I'm gonna make a note that it's it did this break during lunch, which I'm realizing is not a good time to trade technically. And then we should wait until after 1:30, and then especially if there's going to be some FOMC or some sort of news driven thing, wait for that to occur and then make a decision about what you want to do. So I'm just going to make a note, FOMC at 2 p.m. Uh, wait for structure to form. Stricture. Okay. Wish I could have watched this traffic today. Anyway, so then we have this big juicy break. And technically, and I'm gonna say, um, going to ignore the manipulation candles because manipulation candles formed from FOMC minutes because they're skewing everything, right? So we have this juicy break happening. They took out this imbalance. I like this order block. Um, and it did make it was a very energetic move, this break. So just gonna call it this bigger one versus the little guy. And going to point out this little order block right here. So let's do that. I'm just gonna call it a supply order block. There was an imbalance above it, so beautiful. And took the entry from we could have taken the entry from the top there, and then this has already been taken. So I mean, this guy can be right up at this candle right here. Bit of a big take, but there you go. And then you would have had a nice little move. Not bad. What else did we have here? And actually this became an intermediary high, and this is actually became another intermediary high. They ate the liquidity here. So let me note that because this is another reason for taking it, right? So that they did another liquidity. They ate the buy side liquidity right there. And then couldn't close a candle above it. So down we go. We would have had to believe it wasn't going any higher after this and this drop, which gave us a good indication that we could be continuing back down to where we started. And then we had this imbalance to aim for, and then voila, we're good to go. Okay. What else did I want to make a note about this thing here? Let's just make a quick note that about created ITH. What else? It's that. And technically, like once this started moving in your thing, move your stop in to profit a little bit above this imbalance right here, and then just let it ride and see what happens. Interesting. It's not the simplest thing to trade today, though, but what is? All right, just for funsies, let's go look at Bitcoin because I've rather enjoyed it as well. Let's clean our charts out. Let's go back. Let's go to the weekly and let's do this. Oh my God. Come on, man. We haven't gone anywhere. Oh, I mean, this is annoying. This is annoyingly, oh, wow. Okay, well, let's zoom in on that because I can't even begin to explain what the heck. Oh man, relatively equal highs. I tried a little something. Well, the year's just started, right? So let's see. Let's go into the daily. In this range still. Yeah, we haven't even like taken out this high right here, which would be the next target for me. Otherwise, I feel like they're probably gonna try and come back up and eat this and the rest of this imbalance. They're trying to make their way back up. But let's see what the day itself had to offer. Let's go hour by hour. So let's get our thingy here and let's find the start of the day. Let's see, midnight. Okay, here we are, midnight. Okay. And this is our midnight open. Let's plop this to the right, yeah? Okay, so it's midnight open. I'm gonna go to the 30 minutes and grab the 8:30 open. So we just kind of consolidated around the midnight open. All right, so we're in, just hung out, yeah, around it. Fun. Where's 8:30? So 8:30 is the lower open for today. Okay, oh, stop. And that's 8:30 open. All right. So, well, price hung out, did a few wicking annoyingness, dropped, hung out at 8:30, then dropped and gave us a good indication for a long. Now, what would our targets have been? Let's scroll to the left here. Well, that wick's a good target. And I'm sure we probably find some nice imbalances in between all of that. It's not a very big move. Let's see. And generally, so 0.7. And generally, what time is this? 10 o'clock? Okay, so wait for the news to hit. 10 o'clock, swept all the liquidity. So let's go down to the 15-minute. All right, yeah. So ate that imbalance, dipped into this one from yesterday. Let's see here. Still got more of it to eat. So let's do that. Huh, dipped into it twice actually. So chose to take out this. Let's annotate that. And sell side liquidity. Let's do that. Okay. So I took out this sell side liquidity. Actually, that swept that. And that swept that. Okay, so after 10 o'clock, price hung out, then dropped. Another potential good indication for a long on Bitcoin, at least to that level, potentially. So let's see, did it give us a good setup for that? Liquidity eaten. I'd have been looking for a break right around here. Approximately. Let's see. I'm trying to train my eyes to see what I'm looking for. So around the break, we had this 5-minute imbalance. This one all the way down here, probably nothing they would have come back to immediately, but the closer one, yes. Let's go down to the 1 minute and see what that looked like. Okay, so on the 1 minute, on the 1 minute, we had other opportunities. So, well, obviously break here. We got a bunch of order blocks, imbalance they came back into, rolled up. Bigger break, here's another one too. This break, we had this bullish order blocks. I could have set an order here to go up. Once it traced back down, once it created this guy, could have waited for this guy. And then it could have also used that one too for an entry to go up. From down here, a little more suspect. Did make, probably would have waited for this intermediary high. They cleaned that up. And then, but then I wouldn't have gotten an entry from any of these order blocks. So then this one would have been the next one. This one, however, we had lots of opportunities. This imbalance, here's this order block. That guy would have been the one I would have tried for the close of that one and then gone up. Interesting. All right. Do we have multiple opportunities to get up there? Looks like it. So we have another juicy break right here. But you want to like try and get the entry as close to the lowest of the opening. So the 830 was the lowest. So then this entry would have been the best one or something in here. Because here's another nice break. And this one could have waited for them to come back into this. And then we had this bullish order block right here. Or even this one. Actually, that one would have been better. Yeah, not that one. Too low. Too low. But the close of this one would have been a perfect entry. Yeah. From there as well. Just out of curiosity for either of these, let's grab the fib. All right. And actually, for this break, looking for about there. So that would have put us at a fifth, the right entry size from the fib perspective. What? Oh, -1 would have been about here. Not bad. 1.5 would have been all the way up here, would have gotten something. Anyway, so those were some options for Bitcoin today. And then now we're in the afternoon after 1:30. We know 2 o'clock's coming with some stuff. So look at 2 o'clock, big drop, creates a nice change in sentiment right here. And then, is it 2 o'clock or 2:30? Let's see. Yeah, 2 o'clock. Big change in sentiment here. Nice break, bigger break here. We had, with this break, let's take a look. So this guy, what I'm learning is from ICTs that the best idea is to go with the lowest. It might trade up into the other one, but go with the lowest. And then I can look to the left here and see we had this order, this potential order block here that I could have used. And what would that have looked like if I'd taken the close? I would have entered there. This stop. Oh, ooh, that would have been like right smack dab, spot on, beautiful. Stop loss right above here, and then write it back down to the imbalance, which have been right down there. I don't know that it would have been, let's see, would that have been worth it? Let's say we'd gotten that entry down to this imbalance, approximately, put our stop above that wick. It's really tight. 69.22, 16,794. Yeah, I mean, I would have been okay with that personally. Liquidity taken up here, so we're gonna expect them to come back up. Liquidity taken here, so I don't expect them to go back up. Another intermediary high, and I don't expect them to go any higher from here. So if they're really trying to push down, interesting. All right, so we're about 40 minutes into this one. I have a lot more to learn and practice, but it's interesting. You know what? Just for funsies, and I know I'm gonna do a real quick take a look at ETH just for funsies. Let's see, just for we won't go too crazy. Well, ETH looks a lot better. Still in this range. It did trade above this thing, so it's probably gonna maybe work its way into this wick, into that. So let's see what the daily looks like. Yeah, ETH is looking a lot more bullish. It definitely worked. Oh man. I think I said this, I drew this earlier. I was like, it's probably going to work its way into this and finish rebalancing that fair value gap. There's this little guy up here so they could come and get it before they come back down. Um, maybe, maybe not. Sometimes they eat the closest and they don't take all of it. Not until much later. Like they came and ate that guy. They've come and eaten not all of that. Looking for other examples. Anyway, so let's go into the 1 hour and let's get some idea. Did we get the same sort of setup just for funsies? We'll try and do this one quickly. Where's midnight? So midnight was right here. Shift. Oops. It's not perfect. And let's do the midnight open and then let's do 30 minutes so I can get the 8:30. 6, 7, 8:30 is here, approximately. All right. Wow, kitty's yelling at me. Okay, so yep, they did the exact same thing. They hung about the midnight, then they showed their hand after 8:30. Actually, at 9:30, they whipped down, and then they probably a good idea to, since it's news, wait till 10. Ate all the liquidity. I'm curious, go to the 1 minute after they did all that whipsawing. After 10 o'clock, was there a cleaner setup? Okay, so we had a nice break. Had a break here. So I'm gonna call that the break. Oh man, look at it. It's like butter. Look at it. And they came back in. They had the break. They came back in to this first imbalance. And then they actually came back again and ate a little bit more. Now, would I have seen this break? I probably would have preferred because more decisive. And then I have 1, 2, 3 of these to play with. This is a danger zone. And then I have all of these. Let's go into the 5 minute. Let's see what that looked like. So on the 5 minute doesn't look as juicy of a break. Actually, doesn't look like a break at all. But the 5 minute, we have this imbalance. And if we just set ourselves to tap that to go up, we probably could have gotten away with something. Was there an order block that was? Oh, wow, look at that. Like that order block. Eh, eh, Still working that out. Let's see. Let's go down 5-4 and see. This order block right here with the imbalance, like that would have been a good entry area. And then set your stop loss below this once it came down. And then it's just made itself another short-term low. And then it ran up. What kind of move was that? Taking it from here. ETH does move a lot better. Let's go back up. Kitty wants attention. What would our target have been? Ooh, look at that. Nice, big, juicy imbalance. You could have just been like, well, I am so close. Let's go to our 1 minute again. You could have been like, I am so close that, what would that have looked like? Oh no, he's getting snacked twice. Not gonna be mad at him for that though. I could have been like, all right, I want an entry. I want him to eat this. I want an entry from here. and then just targeted this imbalance. Some of it. I probably would have gone into like the middle or something like that because I just don't trust it. But we're so close. And then set my stop loss like below there. So I think it's going to get higher. And then been content. Now in the afternoon, 1:30. So 2 o'clock. Huh, interesting. So they spiked for whatever reason. And then 2 o'clock showed its hand gave us a break right here. Don't mind my drawing, it's not perfect. And then left us with this small imbalance down here. Price traded back up into it and then decided to drop again. And now it's just sort of hanging about. Did they give us any kind of decent entry? I mean, technically, once the break happened, 2 o'clock, I'd have waited anyway. This imbalance, that imbalance. What's my order block? Would have been this green candle, right? I probably would have put a limit order right here. It would never have been filled. And that's the truth. Like the long for the day was pretty much the best move. The cleanest options were in the futures markets, but Bitcoin did give us better options for entries than ETH did. All right. So I'm gonna be doing this like pretty much every day, and I'm going to, since we're talking right now, I'm going to, since this is my journal, first things first, save that first image right there, and then let's zoom in on this guy and zoom in and get a proper view. And then take another one so I can get this perspective as well. All right, guys, I think that's good for now. It's time for the din-dins and, a little relaxation, I think. But I am on the last vid for ICT 2022 mentorship, and I'm prepping myself to go through the rest of his stuff before I start. He gets really digging into the 2023 stuff in February. I like what I'm learning so far. I like what I'm seeing with the charts. I'm definitely going to be picking one of these brokers. I'm probably going to pick AMP just because I heard because it has a demo account I can use for a while so I can get comfy. I think TradeStation has one too, but I'm trying to do research between the two to see which one's the best and has the least spread and lags and stuff. And from the notes, comments and reviews, it looks like they both kind of feel the same. TradeStation has, from a compliance perspective, they've got more stuff, CFTC, SEC, all that stuff. So I might go with them, but who knows? More research. I'll let y'all know. I am gonna test them, test them, I don't know, demo paper trading for a while before I do anything. And I'm gonna start with the micros, not the minis. Small, tiny, tiny. When I start putting real money in. So I have to find a broker that will let me do that. All right, guys. Happy, what day is it? Wednesday? Happy Wednesday. Enjoy your evening. I'm gonna go find some food and go hang out with the kitty and my partner. So, you guys have a good one. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe if you feel like it. Let me know your thoughts if you're going through ICT as well, or if you're doing someone else. I like the level of detail that he gets into. So that speaks to me and what I want to know and understand because I want to dig in, like I want to dig in hard. because I want to be the best that I can be, right? And I have a dream and a goal. All right, guys. Happy Wednesday. Like and subscribe. Drop a comment. Shakira out.